So it's 2:50 and we've done our reading. We read a few Aesop's Fables, a few poems from that new poem book I got today from the library, and a chapter of Farmer Boy. And the boys are doing starfall.com.
Connecting words such as because and connect parts of a sentence.
Starfall.com. It's so awesome. I love it. So I was gonna work out while they were doing that, but oh my goodness, I just got one of those crazy itches where you see the house and you're like, ah! So I just tidied up the entire house. I went from room to room to room and got anything that doesn't belong and gathered it in my arms and just walked around holding everything and put everything away. And now I'm going to clean. I'm going to dust. I'm going to clean the bathrooms, and I'm going to leave the kitchen for last because the dishwasher's running, and then I'll load all this stuff into the dishwasher after it's done and I unload it. But I'll clean everything else and just leave the sink. And then after that, maybe I'm going to try to work out, but if it doesn't work out, it's going to be all right because I already worked out 3 days and I can work out tomorrow. And I'm only going to do some weights today, so I don't need a big chunk of time. I think 20 minutes should be enough. Come on, girl. So I'm hoping to have a little kitchen time with the boys. We still have to do our art study. I was trying to see which artists we're going to focus on. I think it's going to be Velázquez, this guy from Spain. But we'll see. And then the poetry memorization practice that I was talking about. And then we'll be done with school. And I already switched my only load of laundry to the dryer. So really, right now, what I need to do is clean. So I'm going to clean. I'm going to dust. I'm going to clean the bathrooms. And I'll do the floors tomorrow. Maybe. Oh, the joy of when things work seamlessly. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, oh, the joy. The house is...
When it does, all the joy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the house is clean, except the kitchen. I'll get to that. Are you going to help Mama? Can you put that over there? Thank you, sweetie. The boys are off the computer. They want a snack, so perfect. We'll all sit at the table together, have a snack, and do our art study and poem recitation. And everything smells glorious. Bread out of the oven. All I gotta do is clean the kitchen, take out the trash, and dinner. Maybe bake something with the kids, get the clean load of laundry, and if there's time, work out. And I'm not gonna beat myself up if I don't get to work out today, because I already did 3 days. I could really shoot for 4 a week, so I can just do it tomorrow. We're gonna have a little snack in the living room so we can utilize the big screen for the artwork we're gonna view. My kids cracked me up.
Look at me.
He wanted bread with olive oil and garlic powder and oregano, and then bread with honey.
No, not with oregano.
Well, I put it on there, didn't I? And then he wanted bread with honey and bread with cheese. And I'm having bread with cheese. Yummy. Well, this is odd to share, but we just looked at art by Fra Angelico, Renaissance period art. And the first painting that we looked at, or the only one today, the first one for this term, was The Final Judgment. And it was a painting of representation of Jesus, the angels around him, the saints on either side in heaven, and then below the empty graves of people that were resurrected, and half of them are going and being welcomed into heaven, and half of them are being dragged into hell. And you see a little representation of hell on one side and a little representation of heaven on the other. And hell was like all these bodies being grabbed by demons and held by demons, and there was like some bodies in a pot of boiling with fire under it, and Satan was like at the bottom, and there was like people hanging out of his mouth. And yeah, that's pretty brutal and really gory. And some of you may not be all right with showing your kids that. It's totally fine. I've heard some pastors that I highly respect say you literally want to scare the hell out of your children. And obviously I'm not going to like show my children the most horrendous things in the world, but this was like, you know, in 500 years ago, what people were painting on a regular basis. Things about Jesus and things about Mary and things about heaven and hell and everything. Everybody was Catholic and just, you know, it may not all be theologically accurate. And I showed the kids like some things that were not theologically accurate in the painting. Like there's not going to be demons pushing us into hell, non-believers into hell. They're going to be thrown into hell too. But, you know, and this is not necessarily how hell's going to be, but it's going to be torment because God is not there. And my little one stood in the living room for a very long time looking at the painting. And he started talking about, what if Jesus comes back before I die? What if Jesus comes back when I'm a man? What if Jesus comes back this or that? And I just took the opportunity to say, like, for these people, it was too late. Jesus came back. It was too late. And you see how some of them are looking up? They're realizing they were wrong and they didn't believe. And now it's too late. And we don't want it to be too late for us. We want to believe before we die. We never know when we're going to die. We want to believe before Christ comes back. We don't know when he's coming back. And I can just see his little wheels turning, and he was thinking about it all. And he's talked about wanting a new heart before, and he's talked about believing before. But this is the most genuine and sincere time I've ever seen. And I know that it's the fear of hell. I don't know if it was genuine and true, and he really just became a Christian. But he said, I want to ask Jesus for a new heart. And he said, can you pray it for me, Mama? And I was like, I can't pray it for you, buddy. You have to pray it for yourself, but I'll give you the words and you can just follow my words. And we prayed together right there in the living room in the middle of our first art study of the term. And he prayed the whole prayer. No silliness, no distractions. He was focused and engaged. In the other 2 occasions that he has said, I want to ask Jesus for a new heart, he has started to say silly words and act silly and start fumbling around and jumping. And I'm like, okay, buddy, you're not ready. You know, when you're ready, you're going to be so ready and focused on what you're doing. And he was completely focused. So I don't know. Yes, I got emotional. I was hugging him and holding him. I was telling him, the Holy Spirit lives inside of you. We're the temple of the Holy Spirit. He's going to help you and guide you, even though you're still going to make mistakes. You're going to feel sorry when you make mistakes. You're going to want to do better, and God will help you. And now they're outside playing. So my child may have just received the Lord. So our school day is done. We did that art study, and then we practiced the first stanza of a beautiful poem that I am hoping we can memorize by the end of the term. And my children are playing outside. I'm hoping and praying that they will get along and have fun together. I am going to empty out my dishwasher, throw in all these dirty dishes. I already have our leftover chicken from yesterday in the oven. And I'm going to clean up the kitchen, make sides for dinner, and then see what I can do with that ingredients. I may as well just bake what I was looking at the wrong ingredients for, the wrong recipe. And then it's only 4:30, so I might luck out and still have time to work out because I have 2 hours to do all of this stuff in. So we will see. So that's our 4th day of school. We have 1 day left. Tomorrow I'll film again, and we already have 2 field trips lined up for next week. Usually I wouldn't do 2 in 1 week, but it's just the day that it falls on. I already made plans to go to the zoo on Tuesday because it's free, so we're gonna do that. And then on Friday there's a hummingbird migration special annual event, and we're going for the first time ever, so I'm very excited.